Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am doing a 100-day challenge. I'm currently on day 42. My name is Dayana. If you're just now joining me, welcome. I am an operations and growth strategist, and I help female founders to build high-performing teams and automate their systems and processes. So let's get into it. Today, I want to talk about inbox systems that will save your sanity. Emails are not my most favorite thing to do, but they're definitely a part of business. And I find myself sometimes avoiding it and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then I realize, Dayana, if you just did it, it would take you maybe 5-10 minutes to get through the emails. And those are things that we're procrastinating. And I know I'm not the only one. I know for a fact because I've talked to other entrepreneurs and they're very, very similar. It might not be emails for you. It might be paying invoices. It might be sending out invoices to be able to collect money. Like all of those things that are very small tasks that we think of, but that seem daunting because we're like, oh, I don't really want to do it, or I don't love to do this. It's not a part of the work and the passion that you have behind your business, but it's all a part of it and has to be done. So think of it as your inbox is not going to be your to-do list. You want to set clear boundaries on the usage of your inbox. So making sure that you are using proper filters and things like that. You want to make sure you're creating some type of a delegation system for who should answer what emails and in what priority, and then avoid missing opportunities. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into all of them. I just wanted to give you a high level overview of where we're going to be going today, because some people use their inboxes as to-do lists. And I actually used to do this before. I used to use it as my to-do list, and I would say, okay, I need to leave these 3 emails unread because I need to get through those today. And that would be my to-do list. But that's actually the wrong way to go about it. So you want to make sure that you're setting the boundaries on, this is just a communication strategy. This is not telling me the things that I need to do. When you set aside the time to answer emails, have fast responses. So some of the things that you can use for filtering these, so that way it kind of helps you to be able to find them quicker, / organizing them for who should be answering those calls, especially if you have team members on your team. So categorizing them by like client inquiries or internal team communication or important notifications like Stripe notifications or calendar invites. Those are things that you want to be able to automatically filter so that they flag your attention, because you're going to get spam. It's literally inevitable at this point because of all the technology that's out there. And so you want to be able to dial it in as much as possible, use those filters as much as you can to be able to help. And I love to use folders personally. So like I'm planning my wedding right now. So I have a folder for my wedding. I have a folder for any of like marketing emails that I just love and I see from other people that I'm like, okay, hey, how can we implement something similar into our system? So those are the types of things that I use personally. But again, you can use labels and other filters as well. You're going to just go into your settings. That's a whole nother video that you can look at. But yeah, so you also want to create a delegation system. So think about, is this an email that you need to answer as the owner, or is this an email that one of your team members would be better suited to answer? Because I say that as a point of, like I talked about yesterday, doing minimum wage activities, we want to eliminate those as much as possible and make sure that we're putting our effort and energy into things that are going to drive the bottom dollar. If it is not something that's going to drive the bottom dollar, you probably shouldn't be doing it, especially if you have a team. So let's think about it like this. So if you have a VA, and that stands for virtual assistant, if you did not know. So if you have a VA, having certain filters and flags for their priority emails. So if you're going through the email inbox, what I know we used to do was we used to do a star system. So VAs would be like blue stars, mine would be yellow stars, my assistant would be purple stars, but everyone had a different star. So that way they knew as soon as people started going through the emails, they knew, okay, this should go here or this should go there. And if something had not been assigned yet, it was just left empty. So that way we knew that someone needed to attend to it. And then creating canned responses and automated responses for different frequently asked questions. So sometimes we can set things up with like a different extension in our email inboxes, but if not, have an FAQ sheet. And on that FAQ sheet, start going through your email inboxes, especially if you're doing this after the fact. Just start going through and seeing the repetitive questions that are constantly being asked. Same things very similarly over and over again. I guarantee you, even if you sell 10 different products, I guarantee you're getting about the same responses on a regular basis. So if you are starting to get that, then let's start an FAQ sheet. Start it off from the very beginning. As soon as you start getting a question, add it to the FAQ sheet and then add your response on there, because this is going to help you as you're scaling. This is going to build a standard operating procedure for answering your emails. And you're going to say, hey, if they ask you something dealing with one of our live events or one of our virtual events, tell them to go right here. Or if they're asking this question, tell them to go right here. And they can just simply copy and paste a response, change the first name, make sure it's tailored to exactly all the questions that they're asking, and then send it. It makes it 10 times easier and takes the thought process out of it than having to think through every single time someone asks, where's my link? Please check your junk, spam, and promotions folder, yada, 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 yada. The link is sent from blah, 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 blah email. Like, instead of having to do that every single time, copy and paste it from the FAQ sheet over to the email, send the email. And you might end up sending like 10 of those a day. So you might as well save yourself some time, save yourself some thought, and put that energy into something else that's going to be more beneficial. And then avoid missing opportunities. So when I say missing opportunities, that means, and I've done it before. I have done it before. And so that's why now I actually have a system. So I check my emails twice on a daily basis because I don't want to miss a client inquiry. I don't want to miss if someone is asking me a certain question that is time sensitive or wants me to do something that's time sensitive. I don't want to miss those types of notifications. So it's up to me to check my email on a daily basis at least twice. So check it one time in the morning, one time in the evening. That way, then you catch everything. I like to do it like that because if I check it at like at 11 a.m. and then 1 p.m., that's too much time. That's only a 2-hour gap. 9 times out of 10, people are going to send you stuff closer to 4 or 5 p.m. So I want to still be able to cater to my audience and my consumers and do what I can to be able to give them the best possible support possible. The only way that I can do that is by staying in the know and by figuring out a schedule. So even if you have to set a reminder on your phone, every single day at noon, make sure I check my email inbox. Every single day at 8 a.m., make sure I check my email inbox, or just put a calendar invite on your phone. You can set a timer, set a calendar invite, some type of reminder, whatever you need to do, put it right in front of your face so that way you will not miss it, and that will help you to stay more organized. The last thing that I love is doing inbox zero. Inbox zero is, I didn't come up with it. It's something that's been around for a while, but it's where you go through every single email in your inbox. And by the time you finish at the end of that day, your inbox says zero. That does not mean that all of the responses have already been made. That doesn't mean that you don't have to go back and check those emails ever again. It just means if there's something that you need to do and you know that you're not going to do it this week and you want to push it to next week, or you're going to wait for a response from that person in a week, okay, go ahead and snooze that message. Snooze it to whatever day you need to check up on it again. After that, then any emails that you've responded to, don't need anymore, whatever, archive them. They're not going to delete themselves. They're going to still be there. And so just archive them. That way they will completely vanish from your email inbox. So you won't even see them anymore until someone responds back to the thread, and then it'll pop up again automatically. That's one of the things that's really, really helped me to manage stress as well as I'm going through it, because looking at a full email inbox, I can tell y'all previously, I've had 10,000 emails in my personal email, and that's just because I used it for just about everything. So it's more so a junk email. And once I started doing like my consulting and everything, I was like, I need to get this more organized. We need to figure out a system. And so the system that works for me is checking my email twice a day, once at around 10 a.m., another around 4 p.m. Another thing that's helped me is doing inbox zero every single day. So archiving messages that I've already responded to, and then snoozing messages until a later date for the ones that I'm either still waiting on a response from, or I said I would follow up. I also schedule some emails. So if there's something that I know I need to answer and I know it might be a long-winded response that the person might send back to me, I might not send it till the end of the day. That way, then you are in control of your time. Protect your time. And so if you know that it's going to be a long-winded response from a client or from a consumer, push it towards the end of the day. It doesn't have to be right at 5 p.m. It could be at 3 p.m. and then circle back and get the answer back from them the next day. keep in mind when you do this that it could come across that you're just pushing them off. And so you want to do it in a way that's still giving them the type of excellence and holding yourself to a really, really high standard. It's just if there's someone that you've been communicating with 3 or 4 times via email in one day and you're like, okay, I really need to get other stuff done, they're long-winded emails, etc., that's when I mean to push it. But if it's just them sending one-offs, like, go ahead and answer them as quickly as possible. That will help to where your email inbox will be happy. Sanity wise, you'll be happy because you will know that you are not having that just lingering over your head. Because if you're anything like me, I will think about it over and over and I'm like, I have to answer that email. I have to answer that email versus just doing it. And if you just do it, it's knocked out, bada bing, bada boom, we are done. So if this was helpful for you, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be dropping gems over the next 100 days and I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow.